that behaves as if it was designed for life. A tiny change in the laws of physics and everything collapses. One click and the whole universe becomes lifeless. This is the most precise fine-tuning known in all of physics. Life's possibility hangs on this tiniest difference. Our universe acts as if it has a purpose. So if fine-tuning seems to imply intelligence, where is that intelligence? Hi, I'm Cherish Parashar. I'm a postdoc based in Japan, and this is Bhaktivedanta Institute of Vedic Science. Thousands of years, humans have looked up into the sky and wondered the same thing. Why are we here? Why does the universe look so perfectly arranged for life? We live in a universe that behaves as if it was designed for life. Gravity, particles, physical laws, everything is so precisely calibrated that even the smallest change and we would not exist. Modern science calls it the fine-tuning problem. Today we're going to explore an eye-opening connection. Scientists around the world have found that the universe is balanced, exactly balanced, to support life. Physicists discovered that laws and constants of nature, gravity, electromagnetism, weak and strong nuclear forces, are balanced on a razor's edge. A tiny change in the laws of physics and everything collapses. I will tell you 4 major examples how this happens. Number 1. Gravity. Even if gravity's strength relative to electromagnetism was only 1 in 10 raised to the power 40 stronger or weaker, stars would burn too fast or fail to form. No planets would be there. No planets, no life anywhere. To understand these odds, let's imagine a huge dial with 10 raised to the power 40 tiny positions on it. That's 1 followed by 40 zeros. Positions on that dial. For life to exist, for universe, for stars, for planets, for life to exist, that dial should be set at exactly the correct position. One click and the whole universe becomes lifeless. These are the odds for the gravity to be finely tuned. Second, the cosmological constant. This number controls how fast the universe expands. It must be tuned to 1 part in 10 raised to the power 120. Even if it were just a little different, either the universe would collapse back into itself or the universe would expand too fast, ripping apart even before galaxies can form. This is the most precise fine-tuning known in all of physics. Number 3, electromagnetic versus gravitational force. The balance between these two numbers is the key. These two forces must be exactly in the range of 10 raised to the power 36 to 10 raised to the power 40. Without this perfect ratio, stars would not form. Stars couldn't balance fusion pressure to stay stable. Hydrogen would not form. If there's no hydrogen, there's no water, no biology, no life. Everything we're made of depends on this number. Number 4, proton and neutron mass. These particles are exactly the same mass. Change that balance by just 1% and we'll have no atoms heavier than hydrogen. No atoms heavier than hydrogen means no oxygen, no carbon, no planets, no people, no life. Life's possibility hangs on this tiniest difference. Now we have seen 4 major examples how our universe seems finely tuned, that everything is there exactly in the same number, same ratio, same proportion to support life. How are these huge odds possible together to support life? That's a basic scientific inquiry. So when we look at these cosmic numbers, maybe we're not looking at randomness. Maybe we're seeing precise engineering. So why does the universe look deliberately engineered for consciousness? Many astrophysicists like Paul Davies, Roger Penrose and Martin Reeves have commented upon this. Paul Davies told the universe looks like a fix. Fred Hoyle said a super intellect has monkeyed with physics. Martin Rees calls it the six numbers problem. So many scientists admit fine tuning is real. Someone has fine tuned in a precise manner for life to exist. Chance cannot explain it. We have no real reason to explain these numbers. This is what scientists have admitted. The probability that all constants randomly align together is essentially zero. So, what are the current scientific explanations for this? There are three main theories regarding fine tuning. Let's break them down. First, there's the theory of random chance. The idea here is that the universe, with all its precise conditions for life, just happened by pure accident. The problem here is that the odds of all the variables, like the strength of gravity, the elementary particles, the expansion rate of the universe falling into place perfectly for life to exist, are astronomically small. It's practically impossible for all these factors to align randomly for life to exist. Then we have the multiverse theory. This suggests that there are an infinite number of universes, each with its own physical laws. In this scenario, we would just happen to live in a universe, in that one universe where the conditions are right for life. The problem with this theory is that it doesn't exactly solve the fine tuning problem, it just shifts it. Why do any of these universes allow life, especially our universe? Why is it so uniquely suited to support it? Then we have the intelligent design theory. This argues that the universe's fine tuning isn't due to some random chance or an infinite number of universes, but rather it was deliberately designed by an intelligent force or creator or some higher power. This is logically the most plausible explanation. Scientists are often reluctant to accept consciousness or intelligence as the supreme cause of all universe, but out of the three theories, this seems the most probable. Fred Hoyle famously quotes, and I quote, "Would you not say to yourself, some super calculating intellect must have designed the properties of the carbon atom. Otherwise, the chance of my finding such an atom through the blind forces of nature would be utterly minuscule. A common sense interpretation of the facts suggests that a super intellect has monkeyed with physics, as well as with chemistry and biology, and that there are no blind forces worth speaking about in nature. The numbers one calculates from the fact seems to me so overwhelming as to put this conclusion almost beyond question." So if fine tuning seems to imply intelligence, where is that intelligence? Is it a conscious being, a cosmic designer, or some force that we haven't yet understood? And where do we even begin to find evidence for it? Ancient Vedic texts like Srimad Bhagavatam, Vishnu Puran, Bhagavad Gita, they describe a finely structured universe governed by precise laws of nature, consciousness as the foundation. This aligns with modern physics far more than people can realize. We will discuss briefly how. The universe, what is it? The Vedic texts offer a profound perspective that resonates with modern scientific ideas in striking ways. Let's explore this fascinating parallel between Vedic thought and contemporary cosmology.
The Vedas describe the universe as having the shape of an egg, what they call Brahmanda, the cosmic egg. Modern cosmology echoes this idea. The observable universe is ellipsoidal, and it's surrounded by a cosmic horizon, almost as if it's encapsulated in an egg-shaped boundary. The Vedic texts also describe a universe with multiple layers: physical, subtle, and consciousness realms. This corresponds to modern physics, where string theory and M theory predict anywhere from 3 to 11 dimensions beyond our physical reality. Cyclic time is another key concept in the Vedas. They speak of big bangs and big crunches, with the universe going through cycles of creation and destruction.
Today, some of the modern scientists have embraced this concept through cyclic cosmology. Scientists like Roger Penrose, Steinhardt, and Turok have proposed that the universe undergoes repeating cycles. Yes, that's right. The Vedas suggest that there are innumerable universes, like bubbles floating in a vast cosmic ocean, and they have similar physical laws as us. Dimensions and laws might differ as one goes through different cosmological realms, though, remember? Modern physics align with this view through the theory of eternal inflation, the idea that universe bubbles emerge in a form of space-time. Vedic scriptures often mention that consciousness does not arise from matter, matter arises from consciousness. Quantum mechanics is beginning to suggest a similar idea.
The observer effect, the idea that our consciousness can influence physical reality, is becoming increasingly validated by experiments. Scientists like Heisenberg, von Neumann, and Wheeler also support this view, even calling it the participatory universe. Max Planck, one of the pioneers of quantum physics, famously said, and I quote, "I regard consciousness as fundamental. Matter is derivative from consciousness." This aligns exactly with the Vedic perspective, where consciousness is seen as the fundamental essence of the universe.
Materialist science has long held this view that brain produces consciousness, that it's a byproduct of neural activity. But growing evidence challenges this view.
Consider near death experiences, people reporting memory and perception even when their brains have ceased all function. Then there are quantum cognition studies, showing that the mind can influence particles. Some theories even suggest quantum processes in neurons, like the OR theory by Hameroff and Penrose. And let's not forget the hard problem of consciousness, the fact that subjective experience cannot be explained by neurons alone, nor by material processes. Leading scientists now propose that consciousness may be a fundamental property of the universe, views supported by theories like panpsychism, idealism, and Orc theory.
The Vedic perspective was remarkably similar, stating millennia ago that soul is eternal, the observer, and the source of awareness. So the growing evidence suggests that Vedic texts and modern science meet at the same conclusion, that consciousness is not a product of matter. It is the foundation of all existence. We have talked about various aspects where Vedic science has answered some of the inquiries posed by a fine-tuning problem. And this is where modern science and Vedic cosmology converge. These are not coincidences. The Vedas don't conflict with science. It's time science admits our universe acts as if it has a purpose. Maybe the purpose of the universe is not just to exist or be limited to knowing about it or even how it works, but to help consciousness remember its source. So, what creates the finely tuned universe? Is it by random chance? Or do we just happen to be in that one universe which supports life? Or is it an intelligent consciousness beyond space and time? What do you think? Now it is upon you to make your inquiry and get your answers from the right source. Until then, keep your mind open and your spirit awake.